Imagine a high-stakes spy case collapsing because the government allegedly withheld crucial evidence. That's exactly what's happening in the UK right now, and it's sparking a political firestorm. Here's the scoop. Education Secretary Bridget Phillipson has emphatically stated that Jonathan Powell, the Prime Minister's National Security Advisor, played no part in the decision to withhold evidence in the case against Christopher Cash and Christopher Berry. Two men accused of spying for China. Both men deny the allegations, and the charges were dropped last month, leaving ministers and MPs fuming. But here's where it gets controversial. The Conservatives are pointing fingers at Powell, suggesting he deliberately kept prosecutors from accessing evidence they needed to secure convictions. Shadow Home Secretary Chris Philp went as far as to demand an explanation from ministers, asking why they didn't disclose information proving China posed a national security threat between 2021 and 2023. Philp even called for Powell's resignation if he was behind the decision. And this is the part most people miss. The case collapsed because the government failed to provide evidence labelling China as a national security threat. According to Stephen Parkinson, the Director of Public Prosecutions, the Prime Minister, however, has defended the government's stance, arguing that prosecutions must be based on the circumstances at the time of the alleged offence. He insists the focus should be on the policies of the previous Conservative government, which described China as an epoch-defining challenge. Yet, former Conservative ministers and advisers claim there's a document filled with hundreds of examples of Chinese activities threatening the UK during the relevant period. Evidence, they say, could have been used in court. One source even cited the suspected Chinese hack on the Ministry of Defence as a glaring example. Here's the kicker. Former MI5 chief Ken McCallum publicly stated in 2023 that China had conducted a sustained campaign of espionage on a pretty epic scale. So why wasn't this information used? The Liberal Democrats have weighed in, accusing the government of jeopardizing national security with its approach to China. They're even calling for the government to block the construction of a new Chinese embassy in London, warning it could enable industrial-scale espionage. Cash, a former parliamentary researcher, and Berry were charged under the Official Secrets Act in April 2024 during the Conservatives' tenure. The Act requires that anyone accused of spying can only be prosecuted if the information they shared was useful to an enemy. But last month, Parkinson declared the case couldn't proceed because the evidence no longer met the legal threshold. Now, the big question remains, was this a failure of evidence or a deliberate political move? The Conservatives have submitted an urgent question in Parliament, demanding answers from ministers. What do you think? Is this a case of bureaucratic oversight or something more sinister? Let's hear your thoughts in the comments.